My first date that I just went on recently, it came with a crocodile Kelly. Like, I wasn't even I was at dinner. My security guard walked in with a big orange purse. I'm like, "Ooh, that's for me. Surprise. We got this baby." I was like, "Ooh,
You know
thank you."
he expecting
What?
the talla.
Thank you.
All right, I just got done watching that video, and okay, I got a whole train of thought. So choo-choo, jump on aboard. Let's talk about this stuff, because this is something that needs to be talked about, like, everywhere, on all platforms, okay, and discussed, and like, we need to like fix this, because it's a problem. It really is. So here's my theory. And it's not a theory to me, because I know it's true, and I know, but that's just, within myself. So you don't have to believe what I believe in. But my theory is that men are extremely threatened by the women that are claiming their power and rising up to a powerful level that stands parallel to their, power level of power. I think that we have been suppressed for a very long time, and I'm talking like generations after generations of suppression with specifically women. And I think it's come to a time in the world where we are stepping out of that suppression, and we're still very much suppressed. That's the sad thing, is we're still suppressed. But I think that is terrifying. Men like that like the commentator on that video. Men like him are extremely fearful of a powerful woman. And maybe even not fearful, but I feel like he has like control issues of some sort, or he's the type of guy that can't let a woman like, be better at something than him, or like, he has to be number one. He has, I just got that vibe. Simply because he was saying that, like, he'll buy his wife gifts, but that's because she works for him. Like, ew. That was cringy. Like, kudos to all the business owners and husbands and wives, that are like team, like, I don't know, goals is what I mean. But that was cringy. That was super cringy. So, anyways, to my next point. I think that these men are scared, and then they get upset because they don't understand why women can get whatever we want. But that's because there's just so many men out there that are gonna get us what we want, and we've been suppressed for so long. And we finally have figured out, like, my God, generally men are a little less intelligent, and we can bamboozle them into getting us whatever we want. And really, like, that's it, pretty much. Now on the materialistic side of things, as far as like all this gift giving and like purses and stuff like that, and like, there's a lot of those women, like the bratty ones, that are out there like demanding that they get, certain gifts like on a first date, because they think that they're a princess or whatever. Those girls are not secure within themselves, because you don't need to demand anybody treat you a certain way when you know you're that chick, right? You don't need other people's validation through gift giving in order to feel like that chick, because you just know within yourself that you're that chick. So I think there's two different groups of women here, okay? There's the girls that are like the bratty, running around, are like, I'm not gonna talk to you unless, you get me this designer, yada yada yada. Those women are insecure, and they don't have very much self-love, because if they did, they wouldn't need gift giving to validate who they are. They would go buy it themselves. They would give themselves gifts, right? Or they would accept, a kind gesture for what it is, instead of demanding that it needs to be something more. Which is that, so that part of it, I can, I guess disagree with, and not necessarily disagree with, I just understand that these women are running around out here full of self-hate and insecurities, and their ego is masking it as a woman that is powerful and get what she wants. And it's good at being in disguise like that. And maybe it's like a gift or something that I have, but I see right through people. I really do. Power versus force, like both ways achieve it, but it's all about the energy that they hold. So on to the next bullet point that I have. It's men's like biological duties to take care of women, right? From cavemen, like hunters. You guys went out and got the food, and you guys, protected the village, and you guys, did all the strongman work, right? But I think that the society and the materialistic society that we live in now, and how money has literally became the center of everything, and people have put such this meaning to money and materials. It's wound itself into that, instead of going out and hunting, and gathering food, now we're bringing women purses. It's no longer a survival thing. It's whatever it's turned into, it's this. So there's that part of it. See, I told you guys, I'm like getting to the root. I'm getting down into the roots of all of this. Okay. Here we are to my next point. This all stems back. Everything we're talking about stems back to childhood. How we were raised. How the first images that we seen of our parents being in a relationship, or whatever adults were around us that were in a relationship, how they treated each other, how they treated us, how the first images, our brain is constantly going to be referencing that later on in life. So if you grew up in a toxic childhood, and later on you meet a really healthy man, your brain is going to be like, nope, something's wrong here. Even though he's healthy, you're going to be like, I just don't like him, right? Because your brain is like, no, I remember, it was different when it was really toxic. Okay, right? So, let me just take a sip of my coffee and gather myself. Okay, my next point. So because we're all out here with our childhood wounds that are just wide open and not being worked on, we are, men are, they're putting themselves in the position to be used. Like unconsciously on purpose though. Because that's all they offer. That's all they offer. And on the flip side, women only offer, to do, the thing with, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying not to be inappropriate. It all stems back to childhood trauma. If we would all just go to psychology or see a psychologist, everything would be completely fine. We'd all be happy. I don't even know how to end this. That's just my take on all of this. Men, stop being so weird about letting a woman be powerful. It's okay. How about you sit down and take a break? You've been doing the work for a long time. Some of us, to the others, that are acting like they're that chick, but you really don't like yourself on the inside. Do some self-work, do some shadow work, learn to love yourself as a human being. Forgive things, in your childhood. Come to terms with things in your childhood. I mean, almost everybody I know has gone through something traumatic. I know that I busted